Okay. Hi, everyone. Welcome to SBR Sports Fix. His name is Jimmy the Bag. My name is Peter Loshak. This is the Loshak and the Bag show for Thursday afternoon. January 10th. Yesterday, of course, a very successful show, both in terms of entertainment value, energy, fun, and, of course, the picks. Is every show going to be like that? Maybe. Jimmy the Bag, I know you know I'm a negative ninny. So you know I was going to say probably not. But no, my answer to that is maybe. We have Maxwell Smart joining us again today in college basketball. He's been doing what he does long term. Jimmy the Bag and I, of course, have been killing NHL since we started these shows. Right? Since we started these shows, NBA, Jimmy the Bag is up. You know, I have my struggles in NBA, but I'm listening better. I'm coming off a 9-2 day in NBA. That's right, 9-2 in NBA. NFL, Jimmy the Bag and I are both up positive on the year. So is every show going to be as good as yesterday's show? My answer to that, you expecting me to say no, probably not, to be negative? No, maybe. I'm even going to say possibly.
I feel it, man. I feel it.
How's that for an intro?
I love it. I love the intro. I think we got a good thing going on here. I'm so excited to have Sonny Vega on the show. We got a ton of games to hammer Max with.
Yeah.
That'll be a spot where we're not breathing going through the capping. I would like to maybe make a couple additions here. We've got a lot of work to do. Before we get to Sonny Vega. We're going to get Sonny Vega in 12 minutes. We got a lot of work to do in 12 minutes. I don't want to spend too much time. Ringer Ring says Hofstra -3. Ask Maxwell, please. I will ask Maxwell. But if you're asking our man Geghard A, he says Hofstra -3 is a lock. Shout out to Geghard. Shout out to Ninja 13. Tiago Ruiz in the house. Odar Lira straight out of Venezuela. Jeremy Miller. Cammy Gopher back rocking with us today. Mo Diggs. Sasha Taljart. Brandon Culkin. Eric Nisbet. Red Girl in the house. Ringer Ring. Ron Lofton. Sean Robertson. Vancouver Brooks. Nut Flush. Allen. Ryan Campbell. Vinny Cornell. Ray Burgess. Joey Jack. Ramos. We have a great group, Pete. Let's get to work.
Yeah. Some comments are coming in. Atticus Ghoul. That's a nice name. Likes Boston first quarter, 2000, let's go. I took that, Jimmy the Bag. I don't know if you remember him. I took that. I took Boston first quarter. That's an interesting situation. Who was it? Oh, no, you're the one. You're the one who liked Miami. You were feeling nervous about Boston.
No, I'm on the first half over.
On the first half over, that's right. But you were feeling nervous about it, or what? You were feeling,
if you break it down, both teams struggle in this situation, right?
Yeah, all right, we'll talk about that.
Celtics 2-4 with 0 days rest. 1-5 against the spread with 0 days rest. Miami 9-15 on 1 day's rest. 9-12 at home.
So I took Boston first quarter. Dan Kelly, I believe, if I recall correctly, likes Boston first quarter and the Boston team total over. I also took the Boston first half team total over. Ziggy Balls is putting up some NHL picks here, which we got. We got Sonny Vega coming up later on. We're going to have Maxwell Smart. Let me see. I'm just copying and pasting comments that are coming.
We don't have time to copy and paste comments right now. No, we don't. Well, let's get through the NHL as fast as possible.
Okay, let's do it. Let's get through NHL. Oh, that's right, because it's a massive NHL card. That's right. And okay, and Sonny Vega is not going to be covering NHL. All right, so I guess let's just quickly go down game by game all the plays that we officially gave. Let me just. All right, so here we go. Sorry. Okay, hold on 1 second. Once again, in the morning show, Dallas and Philadelphia. I can't remember. The lines moved in Philadelphia's favor. You were leaning Philadelphia, but you didn't take them. No play on that one, right?
No play on that one. I could make a move. I'm just not going to reach now.
Toronto.
But I could make a move.
Toronto, New Jersey is interesting. There wasn't a market-wide line in the morning show. I don't remember which way you were. Oh, no, you were leaning New Jersey, weren't you?
I just thought the Devils had value. This is not a spot where I'd take was there a movement from the -200 that the -195 that the Leafs were at?
Oh, yeah. It's now down to -160 or so. And the opening line, you could have had New Jersey at +185. It's now down at +140. So obviously, I don't know if that was a mistake on our part, but it's certainly interesting that is what the line move has been. Then Islanders and Rangers. Jimmy the Bag did take the Islanders on the puck line. I took Islanders first period money line, and that's it. Of course, the Rangers are coming back from a road trip where they were absolutely horrific absolutely horrific. And Jimmy the Bag gave the interesting factor that is hard to model. These fucking nerds with their spreadsheets were like, how do we model partying in Vegas, right? But that's a factor that Jimmy the Bag cited. He said that, just a disaster of a road trip for the Rangers. The last game was at Vegas. They got beat down, and he thinks they just partied and then flew.
With no proof.
Right, with no proof, but, take a wild friggin' guess, right? Then Nashville at Columbus, that was a pass for both of us, but I was leaning to the under on that one, I think, and you were leaning to Columbus, weren't you? But expecting the market to move in Nashville's favor, which it didn't.
Right. What would you get on the Jackets right now?
Minus 109. They're actually the favorite, which is quite interesting. What is Bobrovsky in? No, it's Korpisalo.
Yeah, we know Bobrovsky's being suspended for this game. Scotty Rock Forever has some nice action here. Islanders money line, Jets money line, Lightning puck line, San Jose Vegas over 6, Ottawa LA under 6. I'm going to be adding Ottawa LA under 6.
Okay, well, let's just review all the picks.
But I want to go back. Sorry, okay. I just don't want to pass the Jackets call right now, if you don't mind. I find both the Jackets and the Flyers pretty appealing right now. I find them both pretty appealing right now, so I don't want to move too far out of it. Eddie Oler says Dubinsky out. Yeah, he only played 4 minutes last game. That was due to injury, not being in the doghouse, but Tortorella has a way of just kind of messing with Dubinsky. He either praises him for being the hardest working player out there or sits him at the end of the bench and puts him on the bottom 6 group of forwards.
And then Washington and Boston, despite Boston having lost like 13 in a row against Washington, including the 7-zip blowout loss earlier in the year in the first game of the year, Jimmy and I decided both to take Boston. Jim took Boston on the puck line. I took Boston -1 at plus 120. Got some pushback from that. A lot of people in the morning show were saying it was either Washington or nothing. Carolina against Tampa Bay, a very interesting game. I was thinking about it, maybe a shot with the under, but it was a pass for
sorry, just big news that I hadn't heard of yet, and I was on Road to World. Brandon Cocan saying Blake Griffin out tonight for the Pistons.
Okay, we will talk about that.
And I've got the first half over.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see.
Not help me
that's just the way it goes with professional sports, especially in the NBA. Winnipeg and Minnesota, pass from both of us, right? I believe. Yes, pass for both of us. Montreal, St. Louis, Jimmy the Bag, was it a pass for you? No, Jimmy the Bag did take St. Louis on the puck line. I wound up taking St. Louis -1 as well, and I also took the under 6, and I also took the Montreal team total under 2.5. The Habs top line is just not scoring at all, right? And Jake Allen is very vulnerable. Jake Allen isn't in. We do have, who's in? What's this guy's name?
Binnington.
Right,
Jordan
Binnington.
Binnington.
Binnington is in. And, Jimmy the Bag is, people are like, who the hell is this guy Binnington? Jimmy the Bag knows. He had great numbers in the AHL. Jimmy predicted that he would have a good first start in the NHL, which he did. And Jimmy expects him to have, once again, a good start, right?
Well, he didn't have a good start. He had, spectacular.
Right.
So I think he can come back to earth. But as you guys know, I've just got this thing for small goaltenders because they were crossed off every single scout's list before they came to the rink. And to come up as a 6'1" goaltender now means that you fought through that the whole way, and that's why I knew he had the kind of character to get it. I didn't. Shutout was up, but I knew he had that kind of character because that's what it takes. They're looking for 6'5" and 6'6" goalies.
I'm annoyed because I was leaning under on that game, and I did not give that one as an official play. Then Florida, Edmonton. Interesting. Edmonton wants to play defensively. They don't have the personnel to do it, and I took the Florida team total over 2.5 at -154. My overall NHL record would be much better if I just hadn't taken these friggin' team total overs 2.5 at -150, but I'm doing it again here with Florida. Might be a mistake, and but we'll see. Then San Jose, Vegas is a pass for both of us as well. Just a tough game to suss out here. Both teams are teams that you don't want to bet against. Arizona, Vancouver. I did take a shot with Vancouver on the money line -120. I also took the under 6 in this one, and I also took the Arizona team total under 2.5 plus 110 as well. And then Ottawa, LA is a pass from both of us, but I was leaning. I guess I was leaning under. Let's see who is finally confirmed for Ottawa in goal, and it is Nilsson. There you go.
We know it is. That's why I want to jump on that under.
Okay.
Also, for the second time, Mutt Beast back in action. Mutt Beast says Blue Jackets win tonight. I really don't want to go up against Gokster. I love Mr. Gokster very much, straight out of Belleville. Great capper, great NHL capper, but does all the sports, and I don't want to go up against them.
We have a football question. Should I answer that? Because I do have an answer for it. Ziggy Ball saying, Pete, do you think the Pats-Chargers spread will go up? And how can you tell if the line is going to move in one direction or the other? Unfortunately, we're in the middle of an a rushed NHL segment, but I have a question for that. I have an answer for that.
If it's under 25 seconds, give it to him.
All right, let's move on.
We have 4 minutes before our man. Now, Sonny may be talking a bit about NBA, which that will help us talk about that. So why don't we not worry about I don't know. We have 4 minutes before we get started. So we gotta rush.
Okay, we'll address that Ziggy Balls later on, but that's definitely an interesting game.
He's on. Mr. Gokster's on the Dallas Stars and the Nashville Predators.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this is a tough spot for Nashville. I really do. I really, really want to take. Columbus here.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if Mr. Gokster was going to talk me off of a game, Mutt Beast on Columbus too, it would be I would let him talk me off the Philly spot. And I will, but I won't let him talk me off of the Blue Jackets spot. And I won't take the Blue Jackets -1.5. I'll just take them on the money line here.
Okay, so you want the Blue Jackets on the money line. Let me find what that line would be. Columbus Blue Jackets, best line would be at Bet Online -108, so we can give you that one. Columbus money line -108, huh? You want that one?
Yeah, and then I'm also going to add on, just like my man Rock Nation, I'm going to add on the under in Ottawa at Los Angeles.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well. We can give you 6 minus, let's see what we got, -121. I found a -120 for you. -120 is what we can get. Ottawa, so you want Ottawa, LA, under 6 -120. Okay.
Jeremy Miller says, like I always say when it comes to the Flyers, grab your wallet and run far, far away.
All right, so someone else said that Vancouver should not be favored against anyone. I understand that sentiment, but Arizona, I feel like, is in a bad spot. I'm trying to remember, what were the leans that I was thinking about? I think I was leaning, there were some totals leans that I can't remember what the totals
I had
leans
an
were.
under 6 question mark beside
Ottawa, LA.
No, beside the beside the Vancouver, Arizona game. I had under 6 question mark.
I did take that one. I did wind up taking that one. And I think it was the Winnipeg, Minnesota game that I had thinking about the under on, right?
I believe that was right.
Yeah, that was one of them, the Winnipeg, and then Cam Talbot is in goal for the Oilers. He's just not good. And Reimer's in goal for Florida.
He's actually playing a little bit better, and the only way you'll back Florida right now is with Reimer in goal. Luongo, very streaky goal. He's completely fallen apart. So if you want Florida, or you're on Florida, you should be thankful Reimer's in goal.
Really?
Oh, absolutely.
If you want the over,
now Reimer on the road has an 886.
Yeah, like he's ass, dude.
He's not.
He's not?
And he plays well in these situations.
He
when
does?
He falls apart is when Luongo goes on the shelf for 20 games and Reimer has to be there every second game. I think he's a good backup goalie.
Really? So you don't think Reimer is ass? Because I was about to take Florida Edmonton first period over -139, but you think that might be a mistake, huh?
No, I do think there's going to be goals in that spot.
Right.
I do think there's going to be goals. And that was my first feel was to take the over in that spot. What will we get on the over there?
Well, it's a 6.5. And I was thinking that although it's
we could have got 6s on the morning show.
Yeah, I mean, if you want 6 -140, you get bet 365. If you want to buy at Pinnacle, I'm sure I could get you 6 like -138 or something.
Van City Chris says, Pete, Vancouver's been shut out 3 of the past 4 games.
I know.
Pedersen is hurting them. Until they show some life, I'd stay away, but go with your gut.
No, I hear you. I hear you. All right, so I guess I'm just trying to remember because there were leans that I had. I think one of them was Nashville, Columbus.
Says Talbot has been a bit better depending on how the D is. I agree. Talbot is playing better.
You think so, huh?
Yeah, he is playing better.
Yeah. All right, maybe I will, because I was leaning Florida Edmonton first period over. I'm just looking at the leans that I was thinking about the Dallas Philly game. Yeah, it feels like the market is telling you Philly's going to win. The Toronto New Jersey game feels like the market is telling you the Rangers are the right side, right? Going on down here, Nashville Columbus. I was leaning under on that one. Washington Boston we're done with. Carolina Tampa Bay we're done with. And I think Minnesota Winnipeg. No, that wasn't one.
I'm close to making a move on the Flyers here.
Yeah,
I'm very close to making a move on the Flyers. I just think this is a bad Dallas Stars team, but the Flyers are such a dumpster fire. The thought for me is Carter Hart capable of stepping up here? And I think he is. And Gate Pasquis says, Pete, don't listen to them. Take the Canucks -1.
Mm-hmm.
I think he is. I think Carter Hart is capable of stepping up here. They need something so badly to get rolling, and what would I get on the Flyers?
Well, it's down to like even money. I don't even know if I could get you even money. No, I can't. -102 is what I could give you. Are they that bad? Like, how bad is this freaking team? How bad is this freaking team, man?
Their defense is so bad. I'm not going to do it. But if money was no issue and I wanted action, I would
right.
jump on the Flyers at home. But I think you're getting value.
All right, you know what I'm going to do?
On the road.
I took Philly in their last game, right? And I took them on the first period, and it pushed. If Philly is going to win this game here, I think they come out strong to start. You know what I mean? I think if they don't come out strong to start, they're going to wilt. So I'm going to take Philly on the first period money line, and that's going to be -104 at Pinnacle. So I will add that one. I'm going to take the Flyers first period money line -104. Again, the last game that Philly lost, I took them on the first period. I didn't have to eat a loss on that one because they pushed. So I'm going to take Philly first period money line -104. I'm also thinking, I guess, about adding on Nashville Columbus under, but we got to go. That was the play I was leaning towards, right?
Yeah.
All right, I can tweet anything out. If
I
I
also feel like the Senators have value here, but I'm not going to do that. I know too many good cappers that love the Kings here. So I'm going to stick with my spots. And I do, okay, one final thing. Do the Wild. Should I jump on the Wild here at home? What would I get on the Minnesota Wild?
Minnesota Wild would be, minus 111.
I find the Wild appealing, but I guess I won't. You know what? I think that's just reaching. And over the last little while, especially the beginning of this year, I've been doing really well with my planned bets in the morning and then struggling while I'm reaching. So I'm going to stay off for all that. Max Real says total under for Philly versus Dallas. What is the total in Philly, Dallas?
Six.
Okay, I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable with this spot. I'm comfortable with my NHL card.
All right, you ready to go to a Sunny Vega?
I think we do, but I just for 30 seconds, is there anything that you are thinking about adding on this NBA card before we move over? Because I like where I stand. I like the first half over. How bad has the total dropped since the announcement of Blake Griffin out of the lineup?
Oh, gosh, let me find that one. How bad has the total dropped in the announcement for Detroit, Sacramento? 5 points. 5 points.
Oh,
damn. I don't know what you got. What did you get? You took the full game?
No, first half.
Okay. You want to just check the first half? Because sometimes these halves can be, because you got a pretty good line on that one. What did you get? Like
114.
Detroit, Sacramento, 114. Yeah, now it's down to 110 at Pinnacle. Wow. All right. Okay. Look, you can't control for that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I feel you.
Unless you have a boy in the locker room, in which case you can. But other than that, you know what I'm saying? Comes with the territory, Jim.
It makes me very upset. But I know one man.
Yeah. That wouldn't be fazed by that. Yeah.
That can fix my anger when I'm pissed off at it. God damn it. That angers me so much. Let's see. I see him out of my peripheral vision. There he is live, making his first live appearance on Low Shack in the Bag. Let's give a warm LoBag welcome to my man, Mr. Sonny Vega.
All right, Sonny Vega, welcome.
Without further ado, is Sonny Vega. Oh, my neck. I was trying to do a Jimmy the Bag impersonation. What up, Pistol Pete? What up, Jimmy the Bag? LoBag Familia, everybody in the chat, always so hospitable. I is Sonny Vega. I'm doing okay. It could always be worse. I don't think I told you about that time that I lost $21,000 in 7 days. I'm not sure. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing okay. You lost $21,000 in 7 days because you lent it all to friends and they fucked you and didn't pay you back, right, Sonny? No?
I wish that was the case.
Oh, that's just me? That's just me? All right. So Sonny obviously has no problems doing impressions of people to their faces, so then he wouldn't have a problem if I did an impression of you to your face, right, Sonny? If one of them comes inside of me, it'll be okay if I do an impression of you while you're on the show?
No, absolutely not. I wish you would.
Okay.
I wish you would. That'd be awesome. But no, I lost $21,000 to bookies, and I lost $21,000 with money I didn't have. And then I was forced to kind of tell my father, may he rest in peace, at the time, and there was a meeting with a lot of people. I think they call it an intervention nowadays. I'm not sure. And I was forced to tell my dad about it. And my dad, all he said to me is like, well, why aren't you winning? Why do you keep losing? That was the first thing out of his mouth. Yeah. May he rest in peace.
Filled with stories.
My point is this. It could always be worse. You see? Let's be thankful for what we have. I'm thankful I get to speak with you guys right here online. Life is good. Life is great.
Absolutely. It could always be worse. The wise thing is just to be thankful for what you have, which I'm not. I'm not thankful for what I have, but I know that I should be. All right, let's get into some handicapping with Sonny Vega. How about that?
Yes, I would like that very much. Sonny, what are you looking at on tonight's card?
In the association, I really have a strong bet, a strong play on the under with the Celtics and the Miami Heat. Ooh. I like the under going 211 for the game. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take the first half under. If that doesn't work out, I'm going to dip into my pockets and I'm going to double up at halftime, right? If the number gets fluctuated, I'm going to bet the under for the first half. If that works out, I'm going to take my money and I'm going to go to the titty bar. If it doesn't work out, I'm going to double dip. I'm going to go deep into my pockets and I'm going to bet the whole game under. It's going to be an inflated price, right? So we'll get a good value on the money.
That's interesting. So he likes Boston, Miami first half under, which makes me a little bit concerned because I did take the Boston first half team total over, and the first half over here is just 102, 102 and a half, 103, which is significantly lower than 50% of the full game total, which is 212. And as we know, that can be very, very telling. Full game total here has gotten bet way up from an opener of 209 and a half to 212. Jimmy the Bag laughing like something funny. But the first half total is very low, 101 and a half up to 102 and a half. All right, we'll see how this turns out. I hope this winds up like 55-38 Boston at the half. That way I cash my first half team total over. Probably will have cashed my Boston first quarter play, and Sonny Vega will have cashed his first half underplay on Boston, Miami. That's what we're looking for tonight. 55-38 Boston at the half. Sonny Vega, what else do you have for us?
Well, one thing quickly, Sonny, one thing quickly is that we are going heads up. I am taking the first half over 103. It concerns me.
Oh, that's right.
It concerns me very much that you are on the under. I feel like if it does go over, though, that the Celtics, even though we talked a lot about how they played held their starters to 25 minutes, I still think there's going to be some tired legs out there. And we know that Miami has a lot of height at the guard positions, going to try to make it more difficult for Marcus Smart and Kyrie. But I hear what you're saying. I'm excited about your more of your action. What else are you looking at?
That's
Sonny?
right. I forgot about that. Wow. Okay.
That's my only play, guys. Right now, that's my only play in as far as the association goes. I got 102 and a half. Now that scares me too, Jimmy, that you're on the over. I mean, the way my month has been going, financially it hasn't been that bad. Statistically, though, December wasn't nice to me. I know it was Christmas and yada, 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 but it was not nice to me at all. So, I mean, I'm due for a win. Kind of like the Washington Generals were due for a win against the Harlem Globetrotters. That's the kind of situation I'm in right now. I'm going with that, and I'm going full throttle. Celtics under 102 and a half for the first half. If that doesn't work out, then I'm going to take it under 211, and the number will be inflated. And then moving forward, I'm trying to show some discipline, and money management is not my forte. I need to work better with that. And I that's why I look to the chat, and that's why I come here on Sabara. I come here on Sabara to learn about money management. I don't know what that means, right? So I get educated when I watch this show, and then moving forward, I'm going to lay off and wait till Saturday for the NFL.
I'm very interested to hear what you're on in NFL. I don't know if those of you know that I believe, was it last year, Sonny, that you placed 16th in the Super Contest? Great NFL capper. What are you looking at this weekend?
Wait, hold. Is that true, huh? 16th in the Super Contest. Is that true? Can you confirm that, Sonny Vega?
I can confirm that. And Pistol Pete, when you come to my funeral, I hope you have a shot of scotch.
Oh.
And you make sure on my tombstone that it says place 16th in the Super Contest, because that's pretty much all I have on my resume.
I hear you. That's what I have. I came in first place in college basketball on covers 1 year. I won Beat the Prick 1 year at SBR, and that's all I got. Well, no, I also came in third place at the Heritage March Madness contest, which is nice too. But I hear you. That's all I got.
Sonny, let's hear what you're on for the divisional games.
Like a show off, so Pete, to be honest with you, you're kind of like a show off right there.
Oh yes, I am definitely, absolutely. All right, Sonny Vega, what do you have for the divisional games? What are you thinking about here?
So look, what happened last week? What happened last week was the favorites went 0-4. We know that. Home teams went 1-3. As far as I'm concerned, what goes around comes around. So I'm going to play it like this personally. I'm going to bet the home team to win. I believe most of the home teams are going to win. Now, whether they cover or not, that's a different story, and that's why we're here. But I figure as though home teams will cover and win, obviously, for the most part, and that's what I'm going to go with. First off, the Kansas City Chiefs. I hope to win that one, make a return on my investment, and walk away, right? If that doesn't work out, again, I'm going to dig deep in my pockets and try to double up on the next game. But I'm looking for the favorites. As far as that's concerned, my BBB, my bona fide Bay bet, I can't say bitch no more. I got in trouble for that last week.
Yeah.
It's but where I come from, Pistol Pete, bitch is kind of a good word. It's a positive,
yes,
right?
No, it's
if you call a girl a bad bitch, that's a good thing. But if you call her, hey, you bitch. That's the negative thing, right?
Yeah, it's 2019. There's a lot of shit. We'll talk about this off camera. I'll explain everything you can't do in 2019, Sonny Vega. But all right. So you're liking which plays in the divisional round? All the home teams?
Well, look, you get what you pay for in life. My BBB, my bona fide baby bet would be the New England Patriots on the money line, minus 220. I think they're going to get it done. I think the best teams will be left standing, the final four. I believe it will be the Kansas City Chiefs against the New England Patriots, New Orleans Saints, and the LA Rams. There will be a backdoor cover this weekend. There will be a safety. I'm looking for that prop as well this weekend. There will be a safety this weekend that occurs. I'm trying to find that prop bet. Maybe someone in the chat, if they can find that for me and where I can bet it. But my number one Uno play of the weekend will be the Patriots on the money line.
Yeah, that's a really tough one because ordinarily, that's a tough one because the Pats routinely outperform their expectations in the playoffs, right? And I think that has to do with Belichick, although it may have had to do with some of the shenanigans that he was able to get away with in years past that he might not be able to get away with now. In general, I would be very high on the Chargers here, Jimmy the Bag. The question is just, it's not a good scheduling spot for them, and I don't like to bet against Belichick, obviously at home in the divisional round of the playoffs. But if this was just a random game on a neutral field, something like that, I would be loving the Chargers here.
Yeah,
getting points.
I can understand both sides of the equation. It's going to take more grinding for me, and then we're going to do the audible tomorrow. And I feel like after I break that down, I'll be able to make a few bets. So I'm planning on getting my action out tomorrow evening.
All right. I'm also thinking about the over in the Indianapolis and KC game. I know it's a very high total, but this is just these are two bad defenses, right? They kind of know that they're bad, so they play a strategy. They strategize accordingly. But I feel like this is just going to be they're just going to be like, listen, we can eat both. We can eat both of us can outshoot the other one if we need to. Let's just turn it into a shootout and see if we can come out on top. I'd be leaning KC here at -5 and leaning the over. Sonny Vega, is that that's your favorite play? Is New England -4? Is there anything else you're liking?
No, he's liking New England -220.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry about that. On the money line, yeah, which makes a little bit more sense. Anything else you want to share with us?
I agree with you, Pistol Pete, on the over in that KC Indianapolis game as well. The first half over under is 28. I believe that there can be 4 touchdowns and a field goal. A late field goal is going to be a bit of a stressor, that one. But I believe a late field goal will put us over the edge.
Okay, yeah.
For the first half over in that KC Indianapolis game.
Yeah, I think that, it's clear that a lot of people are on the favorites in this spot. And we just had what seemed like a very difficult opening wild card weekend, and everybody seems to think this is going to be more a simple spot where the favorites take care of business. I've got a lot of work to do, and it's funny because I was just feeling like these two offenses since they're in the Indy game are going to be so afraid of one another that you just don't want to give the ball to the other side. But Kansas City doesn't have the running game to accomplish that, and Kansas City is going to be forced to put up points and have a scoring competition.
When you have a total that high, the big question is just what are the game plans going to be here? And I think the game plan is just going to be, all right, our strengths are our offenses, our weaknesses are our defenses. Let's just get into a shootout and see who comes out on top.
Yeah. No,
what do you guys?
I think that's a good
What do you
point.
guys think about that spread with the Rams and the Dallas Cowboys at 8 points right now currently? It's been bet up. We saw it open at 7, 7.5. Now it's up to 8 at some books, at some spots. Now, I think the Dallas Cowboys have been getting a lot of calls, and I am a bit of a conspiracy theorist. I put that in my recipe, in my formula when I cap games. The Dallas Cowboys, look, we've seen it all season long. They have been getting the calls. And for some reason, for whatever, I don't know if it's Jerry Jones, what's going on, but I believe that the NFL wants to get the Dallas Cowboys and they want to push them forward. Now, if there's any underdog that's going to cover this weekend, I believe it's going to be the Dallas Cowboys with help of the referees and with help of Goodell in the NFL. What are your thoughts, guys?
My thought on this one is Dallas is a really tough team to get a read on because they were awful offensively in the beginning of the year. And let's give them some credit. Since, in the middle part of the season, they've gotten less bad offensively, right?
Well, they made a trade with their first round draft pick, right?
Right.
Amari Cooper changed everything. They had, when you have Beasley as your number one wide receiver, you're going to have to run the ball all day.
Right. But I also think that they made strategic changes to their offense that were beneficial. And I think you're right. So that's a really tough one.
I think initially that the Cowboys have a nice chance of covering here against the Rams. Initially,
winning outright.
And we have to get more information on Gurley. We have to get more. I have to do a big deep dive, and I plan on doing that over the next 24 hours. But it's great getting to know what Sonny is on and what he is looking at.
Absolutely. All right, should we move on?
We have to, Sonny. What a treat it is to rock with you. I hear you got a live Periscope tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern. Is that right?
You got it, my man. We'll talk everything from actors, actresses. Porn is on the menu tonight. Porn is on the menu. And, of course, sports. And me losing money. What else could be better than that?
We love you so much, Sonny. Thank you so much for joining us. Rafa, will you give us the word when you got Maxwell Smart ready to go? You let us know that we got Maxwell Smart ready to go.
All right, so we have a few minutes now where we're waiting for Maxwell then.
Yeah, we'll see him. Maybe he'll be up very soon. It was great having Sonny Vega.
So many comments are coming in here that I would love to. I don't even know what to start identifying here. So many great comments.
Well, we're going to have to work very quickly with our man, Max. He handles that very well. So first off, why don't we get some of this stuff out of the way? Follow Max at MaxwellSmart420. He is a guy who likes a lot of action.
Mm-hmm.
And he knows these teams so well, but he knows the small schools so well. So I may annoy some of you guys when I keep going back to the small schools because that's where I want his insight. Let me know. We ready to go, Rafa? We got Max ready to go? Beautiful. Maxwell Smart, my man, how you holding up?
It's been a pretty hectic day, but I got a whole bunch of games that I researched, and let's get to it.
All right.
Barry Rozelle said Maxwell's picks not so good yesterday. I don't.
Is that, no,
that's not true at all. That's not true at all, Barry Rozelle. I'm sorry that the ones I guess you followed missed, but the ones that he gave out, he had a very high percentage of, and it was tremendous rolling with him. So let's get to work right now. I'm just going to start firing games at you. We're going to take it turns each time. Some of these games will be smaller schools. Some will be bigger schools. We've picked out some games that we're interested in hearing from Maxie. And then Ron Walsack says, please ask Max his top 3 or top 5 games. We will also do that. All right, Maxie. Hofstra, -2 at William and Mary. You've had a good read on this Tribe team. Totals at 151. You have any feel on Hofstra at William Mary?
Well, this comes back to what I talked about yesterday about 40-point scores. Justin Wright Foreman is a 40-point scorer type of guy for Hofstra. The problem with Hofstra is, are their big men going to show up? Because Nathan Knight, he's going to get some. He's good for 25 and 12 every game. The big question for me tonight is Justin Pierce going to play? Because he is the twin tower for William and Mary. They're not as guard-oriented this year, and I'm pretty worried about this game. I like the over for sure, but as far as the spread with the line movement really bouncing down, I still got to go with Hofstra. 40-point score make differences in college basketball.
Okay, sounds good. Moving along, now we're going to talk about Wofford and UNC Greensboro. A very interesting game. The two top teams in the Southern Conference. The big difference, though, is that UNC Greensboro has been notably overvalued with their spreads. UNC Greensboro has not been good ATS. They've lost like 6 out of the last 7 or something like that. Wofford, of course, from the beginning of the year has been a team that we've known has been very, very dangerous. They won outright against South Carolina. Some people predicted that. I think Kobe Valentine, a bunch of others really liked Wofford against South Carolina. So they're not a team you want to fade in any situation in general. Like Wofford here?
Actually, I'm going to go with the home team.
Okay.
This is a big game in the Southern Conference. The winner of this game is going to have a leg up on Furman. And I think that Francis Alonso is going to be the floor general that every freaking collegiate team needs, and he's going to take his team to victory. I understand that Wofford has played a really tough schedule, but I got to go with the home team in this matchup and just count on the fact that the student section is going to be loud, and the floor general, Francis Alonso, is going to really take over this game.
And the market has moved supporting that. On paper, it would look like UNC Greensboro might not want to be a team you want to bet here, but they opened as a dog, and now they're up to a 1-point favorite. I might tail this one, Jimmy the Bag.
You know what? There's two plays that I'm already going to jump on after Max's analysis. I'm jumping on the over in Hofstra at William and Mary. I'm also jumping on Greensboro. Both of those plays, my man Mutt Beast is on the over with me. God, I love Mutt Beast. So I love Max's analysis right there. I'm jumping on the over, William and Mary Hofstra and Greensboro. If you don't mind looking at those numbers, I'm going to move Maxie into his next spot. Maxie, Northeastern, 10-point favorites at Elon, a total of 146. You see an angle here?
Well, I definitely want to say, first off, everyone knows I love Steven Santa Anna, but he just can't do it all versus Northeastern. Northeastern does have some very good guard play, but they have been kind of sketchy on the spread. But with so much action coming in on Elon at home and the line moving in Northeastern's favor, I got to go with Northeastern, but I will be trying to hit the over on this game.
Okay, sounds good. So Jim, you want the Hofstra William and Mary over, right?
Yeah.
We can give you the Greek line, 151, over 151 minus 110.
Over 151.
And what was the other play you wanted?
Minus 110. I want Greensboro.
Greensboro. Okay, so that one we can give you, let me just find that one. I might join you on that one, Jimmy the Bag. We will be able to give you Pick'em. I just need to find the line. While I'm looking for it, let me just set up the next game I want to ask you about, which is St. Peter's against Fairfield in the MAC. And St. Peter's, coming off a bad loss to a Monmouth. This is looking like a team that just, when they do have betting value, it's going to be at home. They can get blown out in a big way on the road. And Fairfield coming off a nice home win against Niagara. This might just be a momentum spot to take Fairfield here minus the points.
Well, I definitely agree with you, Pete. John Casababu had a fantastic game against Niagara. They really finally got over the schneid because they had a lot of close games recently, specifically against Oakland, against Ryder, where they had the lead. They could have won the game and they weren't able to close out. Neftali Alvarez is a fantastic freshman point guard, and I think that him and I also think that Casababu are going to be able to be a good inside-outside tandem and good enough to cover the 5.5 points at home. So give me Fairfield.
Okay, makes sense to me.
Interesting. Fairfield. Let's set up another small school. We'll get to the bigger schools. We promise we will get to the bigger schools. I'm looking at this Charleston, College of Charleston, 13-point favorites, big favorites, but Drexel's a bad team. The total's at 151. You feel anything on this Drexel at Charleston spot?
Well, Drexel's definitely coming off a bad loss versus William and Mary, but I think that this is a team that they actually match up better with. They do have a lot of scoring guard play, and they do have a low post presence in Alahim Demeter. So I think that Drexel, if they can score the ball against Charleston, can keep it close and keep it within the number. The problem is Grant Riller going to go off, and can Brantley be taken out by Demir? Because Demir's going to be on Brantley, and then it's really Grant Riller against Drexel's guards. And Cam Winter and Trevor John and Troy Harper, they're not anything to laugh at. These guys can hit free throws. They hit jump shots. They're efficient from the field. So Charleston's going to have their hands full, and they've had a lot of problems covering these types of numbers. They have this will be their first game, I think, at home in a while. I think that's their first conference game at home. So they probably will feed off the crowd in the first half. But full game, I think that Drexel can hang with this type of team that plays at this type of pace.
Okay, sounds good. The next game we're going to talk about is Green Bay against Detroit. And Detroit, of course, in the beginning of the season was a great bet overall. They are 12-4 ATS, and there were a bunch of low-baggers who said that, Detroit has a great guard named Antoine Davis who's going to lead this team and cause them to be undervalued. And that certainly has been the case for most of the season, although last year they got blown the F out at home. No defense to stop Northern Kentucky, and now they're playing another top team in the horizon, Green Bay. So maybe we want to wait until Detroit is playing some of the mid-range teams in the horizon to start betting on them again, and maybe stay off them when they're against teams in the upper echelon, which Green Bay is.
Well, I watch a lot of Green Bay basketball, and what I see constantly from them is they love to score in spurts. Sandy Cohen loves to get out on the fast break and drop a three from the perimeter. The problem is sometimes when the threes aren't dropping, they go 3 to 4 minutes without a basket. And against a team like Antoine Davis and the Detroit Mercy, because they might as well just call them the Antoine Davis team for the performance that he's put up lately, they're playing a zone defense. That frustrates a team like Green Bay. And unless a guy like Cameron Hankerson or Cody Schwartz really man up and hit some jump shots, I think that Detroit is going to be the play here. And I'm even leaning to the under because the coach is not the same as last year. The roster isn't the same as last year. They play a different system and they're playing zone. So that's going to slow down each possession by at least 5 to 6 seconds. So I'm going with Detroit Mercy at home. I'm going with the fact that Antoine Davis will take over this game. There's not an if or but about it. He will score for Detroit Mercy. It will just be a matter of if Josh McFoley and Harrison Curry can contribute also.
Yeah, it definitely feels like Detroit and the under would be correlated with Green Bay and the over because, as you said, Green Bay a dead over team this year, Detroit a very lower scoring, under trending team, and if Detroit is doing what they want to do well, probably it goes under, and if they lose, it'll be similar to the Northern Kentucky game where they get blown out and it goes over. Jimmy the Bag, what do you think?
Well, I think that Drexel is giving too many points. I'm going to back Drexel. I agree with that analysis, Maxie. I loved hearing it, so please could you find me a line on Drexel.
Sure.
Now, Max, I love when you talk about UConn. Know you're a big UConn fan. They've disappointed you this year. SMU at UConn -2, total 139.5. What are you feeling here?
Well, first off, there's a lot of cappers that I respect and I look to for advice that are taking UConn tonight, but I am not. I'm taking SMU. I don't give a shit about Jalen Adams. He is the worst thing to happen to this team, and they'll be better when he's gone next year. So when Jalen Adams gets on the floor, he has to be motivated to play. He doesn't care just to win. He doesn't have the winner's mentality that you need. And Jamal McMurray on SMU, if he gets hot from 3, you can sure as hell fucking bet that he has a winner's mentality. And I like SMU tonight. Jimmy Witt, Jerry Foster, give me those guys. They got down low presence in Ethan Chargois. I'll take SMU all day. I don't know what happened with this line, but I could be eating my words tomorrow and having to apologize to my fellow UConn fans, but I'm going SMU.
Okay, sounds good. Ready to move on?
Yeah.
People are probably wondering about Gonzaga, right? 5 straight covers for Gonzaga as a massive favorite. And, maybe by percentage of the spread, they weren't big margin covers, but by actual points, each one was by like 5 points. Last game, Gonzaga was a 26.5-point favorite against Santa Clara. They won 91-48, covering that 26.5-point spread by double digits. Here they are again, a massive favorite here against the Pacific. 25 points. Pacific, they played Nevada earlier this year. They were a big underdog and they lost ATS, but they still only lost by 22. Is this another blowout win by Gonzaga, 30 or more?
I think that it's a first half Gonzaga spread bet, and I think that you got to take them full game. 2 out of the 3 last big spreads against Pacific at home have resulted in Gonzaga covering. You have to remember now they have a full second unit with Killen Tilly and Gino Crandall back. So that just adds to the firepower that already existed from this team. They got to hit over 50% from the field. They got to play great defense, which they've been doing the past 5 games, especially on the 3-point line where Pacific is going to need to score a lot of points. Damon Stoudemire's a crafty coach, but I'm taking Gonzaga, the talent, Mark Few, and the fact that you know what you're going to get every game from Gonzaga, and you can't say the same about Pacific.
And do you think they'll continue to be motivated to get these 30-point wins? Because Pacific's going to come in here and be like, we're going to lose. Let's just hit them with everything we have. Do you think that Gonzaga is going to continue to be motivated to win this one by 30?
Well, I think that this is a team that believes in itself. I think that the coaching staff has really boosted the confidence of this team. So if they see Pacific really playing hard, I don't think that they're going to just let them walk all over them. I think that they're going to freaking match them bucket for bucket.
All right. Maxwell Smart first half is -14. Jimmy the Bag.
Michigan -9 at Illinois. total of 136. Both teams have had close games with Northwestern. Illinois just lost to them 68-66 on Sunday. I found it very interesting to hear what the coach had to say after the game. He said there's a lot of for Illinois. He said there's a lot of tears in that locker room. As a coach, you feel for them, and yet you walk away from them, and you're excited because it hurts. That's when you're playing the right way. That's when you're playing for the name on the front of the jersey. This team will continue to stay together. We will continue to fight. I hope we look back at January 6th, the night of a tough loss, and say, this is the game that really helped us grow and mature. I know Illinois had a tough season, a lot of close losses, but do they have value here as a big home dog, Max?
I think that they have a lot of home value on one condition. Trent Frazier has to show up. If Trent Frazier doesn't show up and he has a game like he did against freaking Northwestern, they're going to get blown out. Simple as that. I want to play and bet on a team that has that kind of emotion that you just referenced to. And I will be taking Illinois on the spread tonight. I do not have the balls right now to take them on the money line. That may be an in-play type of option. But Michigan has not shown to anybody yet that they can do the same things that they do at home on the road. They may have the best coach in college basketball and the best Canadian recruit with a name that I will not even try to pronounce. But I got to go with the non-basketball factors that are affecting this game. And Illinois is going to be the play.
You know, I know you love Canadians, and this is a Lithuanian Canadian. What do you see in Iggy Brazdeikis' future? Is he a star? Will he be in the NBA? What do you think of Charles Matthews here? Do you think that this is a Michigan team? You know, Beeline said that, what do you call them? A no-maintenance group. Michigan's ranked number 2 in the nation right now. Max, can you give me a guess of what Michigan will be ranked going into the tourney?
Good question.
I wouldn't put it past them to be anywhere from 3 to 5. I don't think that they're going undefeated the rest of the Big Ten conference season. They just suffered an injury in Isaiah Livers, and that's taking away from some of their front court depth. But the fact is, Michigan is a mature, experienced team that understands winning, has been there and done that before, and Charles Matthews really knows how to get these guys perked up. If you watch them in the timeouts in their huddles, you see that Charles Matthews is a vocal leader, and that's what you need in this type of conference, especially the Big Ten, which is a physical, demanding conference. So I think that Michigan, regardless of the seed that they have going into the tournament, regardless of the ranking, watch out because they are going to the Final Four.
Interesting. And here are some comments here. JD says Michigan starts slow on the road. First half, Illinois is the play. I know these are things you pay attention to, Maxwell Smart. You think Illinois on first half might be a better play?
I absolutely think that. Obviously, cutting your games down from 40 to 20 always gives you a better opportunity to read the game and not have other factors that you can't account for affect your bet. But I personally am going to stay with the full game. I think that what Coach Underwood said to his team and about his team is really going to show on the court tonight.
All right. Hail to the Victor says Illinois underrated, but one man is not convinced. Bruce Ian. Michigan wins big.
You know who that is?
Yes,
that's Mutt Beast. That's Mutt Beast. So one thing quickly, we're going to roll Maxie into the next game, but do know that it's our man Big Joe's birthday today, and he needs a birthday pick. And
in the midst of all of this.
Also in the midst of all, but also, here's another twist that's going to make it very difficult. Has to be NFL.
Oh, shit.
Okay, sorry. Can you lead them into the next game?
Okay. Yeah, it's probably going to be a money line, I'll tell you that, which you might not like. But, okay, next game is a very tough one. Texas State against Coastal Carolina. It's tough because both of these teams have been significantly undervalued and underrated this year. Texas State has some really nice results. They went into Arkansas, as a 10-point dog and almost took that game outright. But on the other side, Coastal Carolina has been pretty solid as well. They've been very good ATS overall on the year. 8-4. The line has moved in Texas State's favor. What do you think here?
Well, anyone that talks to me on the regular knows that I'm a big Texas State guy.
Yeah.
I love Texas State. I love Nigel Pearson. I love Tyler Peacock. So My issue with this game is Coastal Carolina has really reinvented themselves this year. They are more of an offensive team. They're not really that slow, grinded out rock fight type of team. Zach Cuthbertson, he's going to be the most important part of Carolina's offense. And if you can shut him down, you can really shut them all down. Because Amadou Bamba, even though he's Canadian, he's not the complementary piece that you need to beat Texas State with the defense that they play. Texas State shoots better from three-point range for their top players. And I think that they rebound and just know how to grind in that man-to-man defense. And if they have to, they can switch to a 1-3-1 press. So Texas State's definitely going to be my play tonight. I'm just unsure right now whether to play over or under.
Okay, sounds good. As of right now, let me just review the plays that I've given you, Jimmy the Bag. Only 3, right?
Yep.
Hofstra over 151 minus 110. NC Greensboro Pick'em minus 111. I might tail that one as well. And Drexel plus 13 minus 105 is what we got you.
You know, I am going to make a move
Okay.
on the Illinois. I'm going to make a move on Illinois. I just don't know whether to do it first half or full game here. So I'm going to make a move very, very soon. Okay, we have just a couple more games and then anything you guys want. I've also been copying and pasting the questions that you guys have to ask, so I'll hammer that up. And Lamont Williams, I copied and pasted that, but we got to run through college basketball right now. This is another small school spot. I know you got a good read on Cal Baptist. Cal Baptist -1 at UMK City, total 151.5. What are you thinking here?
I'm definitely liking Cal Baptist. I'm definitely liking the over. This is a joint play with a fellow LoBagger, Robbie Tagaloa. The man has inside information to the quality of this Cal Baptist team. Plus, I've watched a lot of their games. They're a D2 school that should be allowed to qualify for the NCAA tournament, even though they won't be able to because they're going the Grand Canyon route. I think that they got a top scorer, Malin. I can't pronounce his name, but if you look his stats up, you'll see what I'm talking about. Jordan Heading and Dijon Davis are really good complementary pieces. I think that teams are going to take them lightly and not really understand that this is a team that comes from a winning background in D2 ball, and they're going to surprise some people, and I'm going to take them tonight.
Okay.
Very interesting. We got a couple more games.
Okay, and then we're going to talk about the big one, highly debated game here, Penn State against Nebraska. Now, of course, it's been a big season for Nebraska, 10-3 against the spread, 10-3 against the spread. They are coming off of 2 road losses, one of them against Maryland, a tough team, a little bit forgivable, the other one against Iowa, and of course, all kinds of dissent in Penn State, right? The coach was suspended in the last game, all sorts of internal issues going on with Penn State. So at first glance, seems like a no-brainer spot for Nebraska. You're laying a lot of points, though, at 10. What do you think?
I'm going to lay the 10 points with Nebraska. I could be freaking throwing my money away, but when you have a coach and dysfunction like Penn State does, I don't really care what's going on with the players. I'm not backing that team. I don't know if they're going to be motivated. I don't know if they pull a UCLA and they're trying to get the coach fired now. I have no idea what's going on mentally inside the locker room. So I'm going to go with the team that I've watched, that I've seen perform, I've seen cover spreads, and I've seen be very dominant at home, and that's Nebraska. James Palmer, Isaac Copeland, give me that all day against freaking Lamar Stevens and possibly Rasir Bolton.
Yeah, it does make some sense. Nebraska does have history of covering these kinds of spreads against Oklahoma State. 7.5-point favorite, won by 20. Against Creighton, 8.5-point favorite, won by 20. And they are coming off a couple of losses. That's the way I was leaning. If it loses, it's okay. But I'm going to tail this one. I'm going to take Nebraska minus the points. I can understand why people might think that that's and the other thing that concerns me is that slight movement in Penn State's favor, just a teeny movement. But all right, go ahead, Jim.
Finally, and then we can go to the questions. There's one more game I wanted to talk about, and I will be jumping on that over in Cal Baptist, UMK City that Max was talking about. Please lock me into that over. Maxie, I know you got a great read on North Texas, 5.5-point road favorites against UTEP, total of 134. What are you feeling here?
Well, I know that North Texas has burned me the last 2 home games, but this is a team that I rather and prefer to take on the road. I've watched and bet and won on both their games versus Rice in New Mexico, where I think that they really have a lot less pressure on them, and I think that they play a lot more fluidly. Roosevelt Smart's been moved into the starting lineup. I think that's a good thing, but it does take away from their depth, from their bench depth. I do think that if this team can get hot from three, it's going to be a big win. UTEP does struggle from shooting threes, and they need Gilliard and Paul Thomas to hit threes in order to keep pace with them. Because if North Texas gets steals, which they are very good at doing, that's going to lead to fast breaks. That's going to lead to kickouts. That's going to lead to open jump shots, and North Texas hits those. So give me North Texas tonight.
Okay.
I'm going to add a couple of things here, but first off, Kobe Valentine started the morning show by liking Cincinnati +6. He said, not locked in yet, but my leans are, and he liked Cincinnati +6. We've had some guys in the chat asking about Cincinnati. What are you feeling in that spot?
Well, for Cincinnati, they did something smart by taking Kane Broom out of the starting lineup. He's getting less and less minutes, and they've been playing better on offense. Obviously, the East Carolina loss is going to be a big, strong motivation and a big factor in whether you bet this game Tulsa or Cincinnati. I personally think that Cincinnati's better coached. I think that Tulsa is bound for a loss at home. They may get up for this game in the first half, but I think that Cincinnati's going to grind them out with their defense, and I think that they're going to be able to cover 6 points.
Oh, that was my fault. I said +6. I was just reading off of Kobe's chat, and I do have a vague recollection of him switching that. Sorry, my fault. So Cincinnati -6 and Max backing Cincinnati -6. I copied and pasted some questions. I don't know if you've hammered any of these games, but our man Yais, who we love very much, said, can you ask about Wilmington and Murray State? You have any feel on that?
Yeah, definitely. Murray State's on the road, 12.5-point favorites. They should cover this spread. They have Ja Morant, who is an NBA prospect. But as far as a bet on this game, I didn't get to this game today, but my initial lean would be to Murray State. But I'd also be looking towards the under.
Okay, can I ask a question here?
Please do.
Hail to the victors. I don't know if you looked at this one, but lock. He says lock. Montana, get it now. They're a 6.5 or 7-point favorite over Eastern Washington.
Yeah, I definitely think that it makes sense. Montana, on paper and on video that I've watched, they have a very good sound offensive scheme, very good defensive scheme. The problem is a lot of us have been hating and betting against Eastern Washington, and we may be setting ourselves up because there's a hell of a lot of action on Montana. It's probably going to be a game that I stay away from just because of the ticket count. I hate to be influenced by that type of thing. But Eastern Washington's going to pull something out eventually, and I don't want to be on the wrong end of this game.
Yeah, Eastern Washington is now 2-12 against the spread. Their last game, I took a shot with them +8.5. I thought it was maybe a nice time to time a reversal of ATS fortune from them, and I was wrong. Montana is off of a loss as a big favorite against Portland State after a bunch of ATS wins in a row. So that's a tough one.
Max, I got another thing I want to hit you with. I made a bet before I came into the show. I took the over in Eastern Illinois at Jacksonville State. The over is 24-6 in the Panthers' last 30 overall. You know that Gamecocks have proven themselves on the road. They played on the road so many games early in the season. I really like that. Jacksonville State does have offensive issues, but I feel like back at home, they'll get out of this shooting slump. They're shooting 39.9% in the last 5 games. The Panthers have won 6 of 7. They're averaging 73.7 points per game. They're shooting 37.1% from behind the arc. I feel like I know the Panthers can hit their shots, and I feel like Jacksonville State at home will get out of their shooting slump. I know they're only shooting 31.6% from beyond the arc, 73.3% from the foul line. I think all those numbers will step up at home, and I jumped on the over. Did you take a look at this game at all?
Well, I always look at Jacksonville State because I'm a big fan of Coach Harper. Season in, season out, he seems to find a way to win 20 games. And I think that I would be going with Jacksonville State on the spread, definitely on this game, even though that the line has gone down to 12.5. I definitely think that Jacksonville State's going to get out of their funk offensively. It's just a matter of is Eastern Illinois going to hit shots against Jacksonville State, because Jacksonville State predominantly is an under team, and they do have good size. So I think that it's going to be a really tough game for Eastern Illinois to stay in unless they're making shots. But if you get to the foul line and you make your freaking foul shots, then they have a good chance. But I think that your over is in a good spot.
Okay, I like hearing that. So we'll have to go over the plays that we're adding, but we're running out of time quickly.
Well, let me just review it once again. I took Nebraska -10, -105. Might have been a mistake. Kobe Valentine, I know, likes Penn State, but okay, I took Nebraska -10. Jimmy the Bag, you're on Hofstra over, NC Greensboro Pick'em, Drexel +13, and Cal Baptist over 150 -110, but not on Cal Baptist side, huh?
No, I've decided not to take the Cal Baptist side. I will be jumping on Texas State. So please add Texas State, and I will be jumping on Illinois full game. So I'd like Illinois full game. You guys know how I get swayed by some of these psychological situations, and when the coach says stuff like that, I think this team could step up. I think that could be a turning point. Raven in the Desert is also on the over in Jacksonville State. My man Mutt Beast likes that spot. My over on Jacksonville State. So I'm adding Texas State and Illinois.
Okay, so Illinois will be +9.5 -115. That's the current line at Bovada, which we are using now. And then Texas State will be -2 -104. That's the current line at Pinnacle. I'm going to take Texas State -2 -104. I've also decided to add on NHL plays. I am going to add on Carolina Tampa Bay first period over. Carolina Tampa Bay out of nowhere. I am going to add that one on, Jimmy the Bag. I just want to make it official.
Sure.
Carolina Tampa Bay first period over 1.5. I will quote that line in a second. Go ahead.
Perfect. Max, a lot of people are asking if you have a best bet or if there's a couple games that you like the best. Is there any game that when Eddie Orlick says over Jacksonville State was my play? Beautiful. I love hearing that, Eddie Orlick. Was there any spot in this card here that we haven't talked about that you like, or is there any game that you think is your best play? Can you touch on any of those? Because a lot of people are asking.
Yeah, I definitely have a couple plays that I like that I can give you guys. I think that Delaware is going to be a live dog tonight. I think that they can win on the money line outright. I love Eric Carter. I love Ryan Allen. I love the fact that Eric Carter hits 66% from the field, 60% from the freaking 66% from 3-point, 61% from the field. He doesn't take enough shots from out there, but if he does tonight, I think that Delaware is a live dog, and I'm definitely going to be betting them. And then also, I have this hat behind me. If you can't see it, it's Appalachian State. It does worry me that a lot of people are on them, but I think that Ronald Shabazz and Justin Forrest, if they're hitting their freaking 3-point shots, which we know they're going to hoist up 20 to 25 of them, they're going to cover at home tonight.
Okay, that line for the Tampa Bay first period over was -160, which might have been a mistake, but I announced it, so I'm going to take it. Go ahead.
No, that's great. So Max jumping also on Delaware and Appalachian State. We did have and Geghard A, who gives us puts a lot of capping, a lot of hard work into our show, says please ask Max about Youngstown. Do you have any feel on Youngstown tonight?
Yeah, definitely. Youngstown is in a good spot right now. I think that they're a live dog also. Illinois Chicago has proved over and over again that they are irresponsible as favorites. So if I'm going to play this game, which I haven't laid a bet and I haven't really looked into it, all I know is what I watched from the Youngstown Green Bay game is that Youngstown State could stay in this game. I think that they're going to be underestimated, and Illinois Chicago will have to actually play to their potential to cover this spread.
Okay. Anything else you're thinking?
No, I feel good. I feel really good about getting all this information from Max and hammering it all in. So you'll grab the over I took for Jacksonville State just off of my Twitter?
Yes.
Perfect.
Oh, you tweeted that.
I tweeted that. Yeah. I got 140.5, but we'll go over that. Raven into said Youngstown State +9, maybe money line and over. JC Alvarez says no need to interrupt Max with NHL plays.
I was just shouting it out.
It's all good. It's
Okay,
all good.
all right.
Sorry. What a treat.
People getting testy. People getting a little
getting testy. People are getting testy. Eric Nisbet says, ex-Illinois alum and season ticket holder. They aren't worth backing. That's from Eric Nisbet, my man Geghard. Hey, we love all the hard work. You guys, the one thing about this chat, and the chat is growing, they're putting so much hard work into our show, and it means the world to us, and that's why we've been winning now for a few months. Like, we're on a few months of winning, and it's all because of you guys and your hard work. And guys like Maxwell Smart. Maxie, thank you so much for joining us. You can find Max at Maxwell Smart 420 on Twitter. What a treat. Maxie, my man, do you have any stuff going on before we get Max to introduce Lucrative Larry, who's pissed off, by the way? Lucrative Larry's a little angry about something. Do you have anything that you want to add before we move on? And don't forget, you guys, King's Court. King's Court, killing it. King's Court will be in 24 minutes. 24 minutes. And Christopher Carter says, UCLA, Ducks are sinking. You know, I've got a couple friends in LA that have been going to these games, and they don't trust what UCLA is doing. I know that we got to move on. They don't trust what UCLA is doing. You need a birthday pick for our man, Big Joe, birthday, and he only does NFL football, so take a look at that. Why don't we just give one more minute with this, Maxie? They think that UCLA is fraudulent, that the new coach has helped them, that win over Cal was ridiculous because Cal's so terrible. Do you think that they can be a road favorite here tonight against Oregon?
Listen, if UCLA is going to freaking cash underdog tickets, it's got to be against Oregon tonight because Oregon doesn't have Bull. What I think is going to happen is I think Oregon's going to win. I don't think Oregon's going to take this UCLA team lightly. They're going to be like, what are these jamopes coming into our building thinking that they got a new coach now, they got a new freaking look on life? Well, we're going to put them in a freaking reality check, put them in the guillotine, and take them to the freaking Cocksuit Valley to graze on grass.
Is that what you graze on in Cocksuit Valley? I didn't know it was grass. I thought it was hard concrete. Brian Watson says, what was the Delaware pick? It was Delaware, right? I've got that written down in my notes. You were on Delaware?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so before Maxie introduces Lucrative Larry to put a bow on this bad boy, we need an NFL play for Big Joe, man. I hate the pressure. I know it's a ton of pressure.
It's not the pressure. It's that these lines are so tough. It's such a weird time because the home favorites are all have good value, but you could easily get a backdoor cover. I think there's small value with KC. I think there's small value with New Orleans over Philly, and man, the New England game. I guess there would be. Oh, man, I don't even know what to think because it's such a bad spot for the Chargers. And then the Rams game, I don't know what to think. If I wanted to give a play, I would give New Orleans on the money line, but I can't give a minus 340 play as a birthday pick, right?
You can't, no.
Right. All right, maybe I will take, let me see, maybe I'll take New Orleans on the first half, -5 or something like that.
Well, how about this? We'll get Lucrative Larry to make a play, and I'll buy you another 90 seconds.
Okay, all right.
Okay, you got 90 seconds.
All right, okay.
90 seconds. Grind, my man. Maxie, my God, could you please introduce, and it's pissing Freddie off because I know you and Freddie roll together, but I need you to introduce none other than Lucrative Larry. Can you do that for us?
Of course I can. Let's first off serve up the bookies some nice and icy cold cock soup, support your local strippers, and let me introduce to you Lucrative Larry.
We'll have Lucrative Larry tonight. I started watching this sport on the 1963 Summer Olympics.
There were no Olympics in 1960.
It was my great-great-grandfather who wrote the first set of rules for this sport. I played for the fucking handball team for this country, the men's handball team, and the women's handball team. And this piece of shit Freddie has the audacity, the fucking gall, to take this thing during the World Championship. Nah, he knew that it was my jam, and he fucked it up. I'm taking Serbia versus Russia and the over 54.5 goals.
Wow. That seemed very sincere, but there was no Olympics in 1963. I'm pretty certain about that, Pete.
Mm-hmm.
But he's a big handball guy. I don't know if you know that, but he's a big handball guy. It runs in his family. Also, you know that there's a commemorative coin with his depiction. in the
I did
handball
not
spot.
know
Yeah,
that.
They give it out at the Costa Rican airport.
All right, this is going to be a little bit of a pussy play here, a safe play, but I think KC should be a little bit bigger of a favorite than they are. A backdoor cover is entirely possible with the Colts. I'm going to give KC on the money line at -210. I'm sorry, it was jumped on me. A birthday pick for NFL. You know what I mean? It's not until this weekend. So the birthday, I think KC wins it. I'm going to take KC on the money line -110. -210 at Bovada. That's going to have to be the birthday pick. I did my best here, Jim.
Hey, no, it's your world, man. It's your world. Your world. Your world.
I've given some big favorite money lines before for birthday picks. This isn't the first time.
Okay. Well, I won't let it disgust me.
Yeah. All right. -210.
It's not so bad. It's not so bad. Oh, Brandon Cummings says, can he give bets on real sports? Ooh, that's really going to piss him off because he's a handball specialist. You guys, we love you very, very much. Shout out to Sonny Vega, our man Maxwell Smart. We've got a big day tomorrow. We have our early show, which is at 11 a.m. Eastern time. Then we have the Audible at 2 p.m. Eastern time. And then we finish it up with the final Low Shack in the Bag show of the week. Thank you guys for putting so much energy into our show. We can't do it without you guys. And stick here on the channel. Stay tuned because in 19 minutes we have King's Court in the house. Let's have a very profitable night. Much love, all you guys.